Hello and welcome to a random review. Hope you guys have had a good Christmas. One of the things I had for Christmas was this Lansky controlled angle sharpening system, and this is the deluxe diamond version. Now they do versions which have just ceramic hones, which is a bit cheaper, but I was reading some reviews that on some of the harder steels it can take way too long to sharpen a knife with the standard ceramic version, and they were kind of indicating that if you invest a little bit more and get the diamond version, then it will be good for many years of, you know, different knives, different steels and so on. So I thought I'd invest this. I got this for about £85, which was the reduced price from Knives and Tools. So Knives and Tools and Heine Haynes are my two favourite websites for buying knife related products. So yeah, the concept behind this, and you can probably tell just from this image here, is that the kit comes with a clamp which holds your blade, and these holes along these shafts on the upper and lower side give you a fixed angle of attack. So when you rub the included stones or diamond stones across the blade, you always get a set angle. And that's really important in the world of sharpening, because you want to have all the different roughnesses and grit levels of stone hitting the knife at the same angle so that you get a nice consistent cutting surface there. So that's the concept of the Lansky system. There are loads of other reviews on YouTube. I'm sure if you're interested in buying one of these kits, you would have found those already. I just thought I'd give you some additional comments from my initial use of this kit, just to let you know how I've been getting on with it. One of the first things I did was to attach some tape. This is like a very heavy duty clear tape. Some guys use electrical tape, because as standard these clamps aren't particularly good. I think they do a version with a rubber pad inside, but even that I've seen can become loose over time, and holding the knife at a particular point at a particular angle is really important. So if the knife starts slipping, the sharpening process isn't going to be good. And this is the weakest part of the kit, to be honest, and everyone seems to agree. I wish they could redesign this to make it a bit better. I found it's been pretty good on the knives I've already sharpened on this. I do have one knife, that little Whitby Spirit knife. I've just not been able to get a good grip on that using this system. So you do need to have a relatively, let me pull up the old favourite Real Steel Luna. You need a relatively flat area for it to clamp onto, and this is one I have been able to sharpen. Okay, so within this particular kit, which is the Deluxe Diamond, you get the extra coarse diamond hone. Oh, let me try and get this out. And this is extremely abrasive. You can just do a few passes of this over the blade and it takes off loads and loads of material very quickly. So if you were trying to sharpen up a completely blunt blade, it's worth having that extra coarse stone. And then you work through and they get more and more fine. But what I will say is that even the finest diamond stone is quite coarse. So if you finish off with this stone and you look at the sharpened part of the blade, it does look really, really rough still. It looks really rough. And a lot of the people on the forums that I've been reading were saying that if you are to buy this diamond system, you also want to invest in some kind of smoother ceramic stone, a finishing stone. So I got this yellow stone, which is 1000 grit, just to finish off. And luckily there's actually a gap in the box there, so when you buy your additional stone, it just clips straight in, which is good. The only thing it doesn't come with is an extra guide rod. So I'm going to have to invest in one of those, because it's nice having them all set up when you start that sharpening process. Okay, so one of the first blades I did sharpen was this Boker XS, which I haven't really used that much. I never really liked it that much, even though technically it ticks all the boxes in terms of design and what I was looking for, with the forward finger choil and the large blade. But this has always been very blunt for me. But, you know, a quick go on this Lansky system, and this blade has come up an absolute treat. I don't know if you can see I don't know how well this will work out. It's not mirror polish, but it's a nice clean cutting edge there after using that ceramic stone. And this is now really, really sharp. I'll just pull up a bit of paper here. Incredibly sharp. It's really, really nicely done now. So I am going to try and carry this a few more times. And that blade came up a treat. Now this is 440C steel. and this sharpened really nicely. Now, I did have a bit more trouble using this system on my Real Steel Luna, which is a D2. And I think this steel is a bit harder. I don't know what it is about this steel, but I really struggle sharpening this. I could get the material off okay, but it took ages to try and get rid of a particularly rough finish. It looks a bit better now. I've spent some time on the yellow hone. But it was almost like it was tearing big chunks out of the blade as I was sharpening it. And I did hear you can get some kind of carbide clumps in there which can just rip out from the steel, the cutting edge. I don't know what it was, but I just found this D2 to be really difficult to sharpen. We got there in the end, and again I think this one's pretty sharp now. This is pretty sharp. So it did work as expected, but it just took a little bit longer than I wanted to. But overall I think this kit's been really good. It comes with a little toothbrush. It's like a travel toothbrush. So once you've done the sharpening, you just basically get a bit of water and just scrub off the excess metal that might be on the diamond hone there. I feel really out of breath all the time. I hope it's not COVID. I don't know what's going on. But yeah. So yeah, if you are interested in getting one of these, I think it's well worth investing. These retail approximately £100, but it gives you a really nice cutting edge, and it can bring some of your old knives back to life. The other thing I did buy is you can buy a pedestal. Now, most of the ones I've seen are metal, and there's a little spike that sits on here. And I just felt the metal ones were more expensive than I wanted to invest in. And I realised they do a plastic version as well. So I've bought this. I bought this before the kit arrived, and it looks fairly nicely made. The idea is that you clamp this to some kind of piece of wood. There's holes in the bottom here where you can actually screw that onto a piece of wood. But I found once you've clamped the knife in, it's just as easy to hold this, especially if I'm wearing my, you know, the DexFit cut resistant gloves, because obviously you're pushing the hone towards the knife blade, and there is a risk there that you could catch your fingers on there. But overall, I'm really impressed with this. If you don't have one of these, I think it's a good investment. The other thing I have reviews, which you might want to look back at my previous videos. I've got the Lansky turn box, which has two set angles of 20 and 25 degrees. And I think this would be good just to have a very quick kind of quick tune-up of an existing blade. So I've done all of my other blades on the 20 degree mark on here. I don't know if you can see those numbers. On the 20 degree hole. So I'm hoping then if I do need to do a quick touch-up, I'll just pull this out and just run a quick run on there rather than getting the whole kit out. But yeah, overall, really impressed. And if you want to invest, I think it's a good one to buy. Okay, thank you.